motivators. Welcome to today's Monday Motivator. And actually, we're not asking you to motivate you to do anything. We're actually asking you to slow down. So the homework in our issue this month, Restore Your Energy, is to take 15 minutes every day to do absolutely nothing. And I don't mean meditate. I don't mean go for a walk. I mean literally sit down, lie down in the park, on the grass, on your bed, and stare into space. Do nothing, and just see what your resistance is to that, because it can be very interesting. Is that we're also programmed to be more productive, to do more, to be more, and we love that too. Being productive is great. However, it can be also exhausting, and because of smartphones and because we seem to be on every 24/7, it can feel really exhausting. I had a lovely weekend this weekend where I had almost a digital detox. I went camping with my son and his friend in a field, and we couldn't get any signal, so it was an enforced digital detox, and we did nothing, and we stared into space, and we played Monopoly, and we went old school and swam in the river. It was absolutely wonderful. So what we're asking you to do this month in our Restore Your Energy special is to take 15 minutes every day and do nothing. If you're part of the Life Leap Club, our Life Leap Club is free to all subscribers. It's free coaching, it's podcasts, it's videos, it's downloadable sheets for you to workbooks for you to fill in. It's fantastic. So if you're not already subscribing with us, do subscribe. It's a fantastic, brilliant club. You're part of our community, this amazing, wonderful community of women and men who are coming together to explore different ways of being, how to get things done, how to relax, how to do things differently. But today I just want to talk about the 5 ways that we can get you to slow down. 5 questions that I want to coach you on. So as editor of Psychologies, I am the editor-in-chief, but I'm also a coach. So I know about coaching and know the questions that can really, for me, transform my life. Questions have transformed my life. So I want you to focus on these questions, so you can either write them down now, or you can subscribe to the Life Leap, and you can put them down in the workbook. So I just want you to think about these questions. Number 1, if 100 miles an hour is your top speed, what speed do you normally travel at? So this is a great question. So for me, I'm traveling quite fast on the motorway at 90 miles an hour, way over the speed limit. Bang, 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 too much. Mostly I feel overwhelmed all the time. You know, it's all great if there's a straight road, but if there's a delay or there's traffic backed up or something happens to the car, it can cause a lot of problems. So for you, if 100 miles an hour is the top speed, what speed are you normally traveling at? So just start being aware of what it is. So what speed are you traveling at? So let me know in the comments if you want to say what speed you're traveling at, so I can see that. So we're talking about slowing down on this session. What would you have to change in your life? What systems would you have to put in to slow down? That's the question I want to ask you. So if you wanted to slow down, to do something differently, what would you have to change? It could be something as simple as childcare, just be able to have a bit of childcare in your life, or it may be putting your bills onto direct debits. It could be organizing for when you come in from work, that you have half an hour and you close the door from your family and just have half an hour to decompress. What for you is a way of decompressing and creating space in your life? So what would you have to change to create that space in your life, to create a change of pace in your life? Great question. Okay, so this is really the main question that I love to ask, which as a coach is all about beliefs. So what we believe about our lives is true. So you can believe life is rubbish and everything goes wrong, or you can believe that life is wonderful and great opportunities arise. So what would you have to believe about life and yourself to slow down? What would you have to believe about yourself or life to slow down? So just start thinking about, what does that mean? So for you, it may be that you have to change your belief that you have to do everything. It has to be you, that, you know, that nobody else can cope. You know, if you're the one that plays martyr, sometimes I play the martyred mother, I'm the only one that can do it. But if we teach our children to do more, help more, then we're not going to have to do so much over the summer holidays. So for you, what would you have to change about your belief to change the way you operate in the world in terms of your pace? So hi, Suzy Beaumont, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're just talking about pace and changing our pace and how to slow down. So what would you have to believe about yourself to slow down? The other piece is interesting one. What are you trying to prove by the speed you're traveling at? And what I mean by that is often you are, when you're traveling very, very fast in life, sometimes you may be wanting to prove something. So it may be that you are trying to prove that you're good enough. Hello, Susie. Haha. Yeah, know that feeling. Yes, absolutely. Hi, Claire. I've just been given a wonderful book called The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down. Recommend it wholeheartedly. And funnily enough, that's in the issue, I think, next month, Claire. So thank you very much for that book recommendation. That's brilliant. Called The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down. So when you slow down, what happens? So when you speed up, what happens is being able to observe your pace and wondering whether that serves you. Sometimes traveling fast works very well for me, but when does traveling slow? And what are you trying to prove by going so fast? Are you trying to prove that you're capable? Are you trying to prove that you're good enough? Are you trying to prove that you are not stupid? What is it that you're trying to prove by going so fast? And the last question I wanted to ask today is, what time during your day would be a good time to play around with your pace? What would be a different? What would be a different? So for me, in the mornings, is often the best place to start is by meditating and by journaling. It just takes me. Otherwise, I get up and I can go straight, coffee, bang, get all the stuff ready for the day ahead. I mean, I just go straight into a whirlwind of action. So for me, at the beginning of the day, it's really useful for me to meditate and just to take a step back from the doing. Often what I find in meditation is that I'm literally making a list in my head, but it's being able to notice this constant wheel of doing, which can drive me a bit bonkers, to be honest. So for me, it's just to be able to observe all of that noise in my head, this constant treadmill of doing, and to allow myself to be. And when I'm being and doing, and I have that good combination, things get done more easily. So I just want you to experiment with what happens is when you slow down at a certain part of your day. So whether it's in the morning, maybe in the evening you have a practice. What is it? Maybe it's a 5-minute practice. We're asking everyone in the issue this month is 15 minutes a day just to do nothing. So many of us, I have a lot of resistance to that. There's so much to do, you know, so much to organize, so much to see, so much I want to listen to. I mean, part of it comes from a really great place for me of, I just want to live life to its fullest. I want to cram as much in as possible. But sometimes it just becomes too much. It becomes too overwhelming. We've got Gabrielle here. Gabriella, hello, Gabriella. Slowing down is difficult. I think, slowing down is difficult. I think one has to realize first the speed is running. It took me so many years of psychotherapy and investigation to understand I was running very, very fast in my life. As you say, hello, everyone has its own speed, and it has to do with self-awareness. Gabrielle, I absolutely agree with you. You know, I think I've spent many, many years of my life running away from my feelings. So one of the reasons that many of us run is that we don't want to feel our feelings. If you have had any therapy or counseling, a lot of the work that we do there is to make us slow down enough to feel things, to be embodied, versus constantly being in our head and thinking da, 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 and doing things is often a way from running away. Got Casey here. I'm a terror going the other way. I slow down but lack motivation to get going again. That's a really, really good point. And Natalie, a really good point is often we talk about speeding up, but if your tendency is to slow down so much. So for you, if your speed was 0 to 100, what's your normal speed? And then for you, just look at how can you turn your dial up a little bit? What are the practices that you can get to help you move forward? I mean, I know sometimes when I just collapse in a heap and just get really tired, I find it very difficult to kind of move it forward. So what are the things that you can do that can start giving you energy, making you feel? But again, what we're talking about in the magazine is sustained energy. We're not talking about that quick fix of coffee or, you know, a cream bun to get you forward, because then you just crash again. It's about how do we have a sustained energy going forward. I know that one of our experts was talking in the magazine about this idea of that we're constantly crashing and burning, crash and burn, and it kind of our systems misfire. So how can you slow down and make your energy sustainable? We've got, sorry, Casey here. I think I have a foot to the floor at the moment, trying to go faster than 100 miles an hour, but afraid that my engine is going to blow up. I know how you feel. Now is the perfect time for me to slow down. I'm sure I'll be more productive. Casey, that definitely, I mean, I'm sure many of us feel on the call, on this broadcast today, that it feels like we're traveling too fast and that the engine might blow up, especially in the hot weather, and it's like too much, and you know the kids are on holiday if you've got kids, and then you've got all of that to deal with, and so it's about what would happen. What are we afraid of if we slow down? What are we afraid of? So these are all the questions that I want us to consider this week. So if 100 miles an hour is your top speed, what speed do you usually travel at? That's number one. What would you have to change in your life if you wanted to alter your pace? So even if you're going too slow and you want to go faster, or you're going too fast and you want to go slower, just experiment with changing your pace. So one way that we're suggesting is take 15 minutes out of your day every day just to see what that feels like. Do nothing for 15 minutes and sit on the sofa, lie on the bed, lie on the grass in the park, just do nothing for 15 minutes and see what normally what comes up is a kind of, for me, it's a list to do. Sometimes it feels so agonizing to stop because all of the stuff's coming in of all the things I've got to do drives me a bit nuts. So it's easier to keep going. So that's not good. So I need to look at a different way of dealing with that. What would you have to believe about yourself or life to slow down? So really, that's at the core of all of this, is what would you have to believe about yourself, that you can feel your feelings and they're not going to destroy you, that you can feel your feeling. You don't have to do the to-do list. You can throw your to-do list away and the world will not end. Play around with that belief system. What are you trying to prove by going so fast? What are you trying to prove by going so slow? Just play around with that question. And fifth, when is a good time in your day just to experiment with your pace? Try it. Very much. I just want to see Colleen's just there. I think it's important to also say that you're taking 50 minutes to yourself. Don't be afraid to say it and do it. Colette, I think that's absolutely right. So it's 15 minutes for yourself, not for your kids, not for your partner, not for your friends. It's 15 minutes of away from everybody else. This is my time, and I'm just going to do nothing and stare into space. And notice the amount of resistance that comes up when you do that. All right, people, lovely, lovely, lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for all your comments. Restore your energy. Psychology's magazine this month, we're talking about how to find a new way of putting being and doing. There is the great podcast with John Parkin, which is a fantastic way to look about how to get back into the flow of life. I just want to say hello to Ari. So Ari, I've been doing this for a few months ago and I feel good. It was just like letting go at that moment. Yes. So letting go in the moment. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what this feels like. So this is an experiment. It's summer. It's beautiful. Let's just take your foot off the accelerator just a little bit and see what happens. Have a fantastic week, wonderful week with Psychology's magazine. If you haven't joined the Life Leap Club, join us, because we're doing all of this in our community as well, and it's great to get some support from everybody. Lovely to see everybody, and